Hello everyone, welcome back again to Spiritual Growth Tarot. Hope you guys are all doing well. I have a new deck. I really love the artwork. It's the Tarot de St. Croix by Lisa de St. Croix. It comes in a really nice box. The book has, like full color, her artwork. I appreciate it because of her artwork. But a couple of the cards had, you guys are going to crack up at me. Call me a prude if you want, I don't care. A couple of the cards had a little too clear-cut erect genitalia, if you know what I mean. Which I don't mind, but I thought it seemed to be distracting from the artwork, except that it drove home the point of lusty sexuality. I think you can imagine that on the Devil card, but it was also on the Knight of Pentacles, which I felt was kind of distracting. So what I did my little artwork over it. So if those cards pop out, and you get this deck, you're going to go like, wait, my deck has something else. But anyway, aside from that, I love these cards. I love her as an artist. She's amazing, multicultural. We'll have some different ethnic figures, people in the cards, which I really appreciate. But like I said, this is daily reading, or like I should have said, this is the daily reading for Friday, June 11th, 2021. We're right there in the opening of the new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, 19 degrees Gemini, and I read on that, not extensively. Extensively would have been to go through all the houses, but there are so many other astrologers out there on YouTube that have done that I didn't feel the need. As long as you know your chart well, you can get that other information online. But I did give a good general overview for that. So let's see what Friday, June 11th brings us, and what is it that we need to know in order to evolve. It's always about coming back to love, of course. But, there's self-love, there's boundaries in relationships. There are so many aspects of love. It's such a vast realm. So many different kinds of love. We can't define it. Wow. Okay, you guys saw how thoroughly I shuffled this deck. We have two major arcanas already. Now they're straight up. Justice and the Tower. And then we have the Three of Cups reversed. Okay, so this is interesting. So the Tower is ruled by Mars and Uranus. I feel to add the newly discovered planet. Not that new, but new enough. Traditionally, it was just Mars that ruled the Tower. But I feel that we can definitely add Uranus in there because it appears to happen suddenly, like the lightning bolt out of the sky. But the truth is when the Tower appears, now granted, remember that any big or challenging card in a daily reading is not meant to be taken with the full extent of the meaning because it's a daily reading because it's different when you're reading daily. But if you just have readings for yourself by someone once a year or every 6 months, and one of these cards comes through, any major arcana is going to have an extreme importance. But anyway, back to the Tower. It has everything to do, the way I read it, is breaking through to the real self. Letting go of the false self. The false self cannot function in your life anymore unless, no, the false self just doesn't. What the false self does, once we're adults, the false self is good when we're little because we're in survival. And we're needing to do what our parents and our teachers and, all the grown-ups in charge, or the authority in charge, we're needing to comply. We're needing to do what they want us to do in order so that we can, learn when it's a good compliance, and to when there's trust in relationship. But it's also sometimes misused, and children don't have the same, they actually don't really have free will like we do as adults. So as we grow up, we devise this like fake part of ourselves, a false self is what I call it, that does whatever it needs to do. This part of ourselves, it's where we're masky, it's where we have coverings, behavioral patterns covering that creates vicious circles, basically, as an adult. But it's where we cover up who we truly are, and we do that because we think we need to be something other than our real self. So I always ask myself, who do I think I need to be in order to receive love or approval? And once I get inside the answer of that question, then I can dismantle it and just be real. So the tower comes through to break through. Sometimes it creates crisis in our lives. Some of the traditional meanings of the tower, of course, are crisis, like big changes, sometimes destruction, sometimes a very painful loss. But to me, that's only if we're misusing our power, or it's time to break through. And then you can celebrate this card. When you really celebrate this card, you're breaking through. Your real self is right there, and it, the false self is just like, oh yeah, I don't need to be that way anymore. It's kind of like when when any of us are trying to let go of a bad habit, what we want to do is replace it with a good habit. Cold turkey's great when it's cigarettes and all that, but in between, there are like nicotine patches, and there are, there's nicotine gum. There's other things we can do with our. I don't know. I've never smoked. That wasn't my thing, but you can let go of it by substituting it with something else. So some people like chew on toothpicks and things like that, or just anything. Smoking is more of an oral kind of an issue. So getting inside of where our parents didn't or couldn't fulfill for some reason or another, couldn't fulfill that, what the baby needed, sucking and things like that. Sometimes that can come up with smoking addictions. Other times it can be with smoking, it can be a connection. What I found with my clients is like a real deep connection to Native American traditions where, there's a lot of peace pipe smoking and different forms of smoking for, spiritual reasons, so there's a deep soul, connection there. But, we live to learn that any kind of smoke in our lungs can't be healthy. So, that being said, there could be some element of letting go, and it brings in balance. With the Justice card, it is, of course, all about finding your karma, your life lessons, finding your inner truth, and breaking through. These two cards, I love this together. Finding your inner balance and breaking through and becoming free so that there's no more crisis in your life. Or at least a big chunk of it is gone. These cards come through, like the Tower can come through when we're, on a simple level, it can come through when we're, like I said, breaking free of the false self. But on some other mundane levels, it can be like remodeling around the house, moving furniture because it needs to be, you need to change something for a good reason. But in combination here with the Three of Cups reversed, let's check out this image. It's three friends. I love the way she did this. Three friends, having coffee or tea or whatever, and they're playing a tarot card game. I had to look it up in the little book to see, like, wait, what is that? Because I see the moon, we see all these images, here, but I've never seen, a game like this. So anyway, I guess it's a tarot card game, and I've never seen one, but I'm sure they're out there. But it could be three friends reading cards for each other too. Because it's the Three of Cups, so it's all about joining together in like-mindedness and, being really happy, reunion, and joy. But it came through reversed, so that meaning brings in sometimes, well, especially with this combination, it would be someone who wasn't fair, who wasn't just with you, who broke your heart, kind of, and cheated. There are cheating elements here. They broke apart the relationship, or maybe we did that, and we're coming to terms with, maybe that wasn't the way to do it. But usually when cheating happens in a relationship, it's because something wasn't being honored within, like a place where we didn't show our real self. But as we do, then it sometimes throws relationships upside down. Because that can happen. You can be with somebody and then you realize, you know what, there are fundamental problems that I feel, and I can't commit and go any further. So it throws the relationship upside down. But then, we're coming from that inner place of having that truth and clarity within. So you have to be fair and break it apart if that's the case. And then in other cases, this can be a painful realization that you've done some deep inner work and it has broken apart your life in a way that now you don't really have any friends because and it's not bad, because what you're doing is you will eventually find new friends, but the old friends had to go because maybe they weren't honest. Maybe they were gossipy. Maybe you couldn't go deeper with them. Maybe they just like to, when the Three of Cups is reversed, it can be, just have a pity party all the time. Or maybe they're drinking buddies and you're trying to not drink anymore because you're trying to balance out your soul substance. Or maybe you're, like a little bit of drinking is okay for celebration, of course, but maybe these friends like to get like blackout drunk and think that that's fun. Things like that. So whatever it is for you in your life, just know that as you break free and you come back to who you truly are, you're balancing out your soul substance and you're clear. You're clear. I mean, look at the image on this card. I love the way she has like the clear heart on her chest. There's clarity there. And she's doing her best to remain unbiased, but in combination here with the Tower, things have to go. Whatever isn't aligned with the truth and love and equality has to go. So that would mean relationships that don't fit you anymore. Yeah. So, okay. Well, that's all I have for today. Thanks, you guys, and take good care. Okay, bye.